This is MJ. I'm an author, I'm an artist, I'm an analyzer. Find all my work at mgmunoz.com. Welcome to Swinging Through Comics. Visit mgmunoz.com/STC for notes and links, and don't forget to subscribe. Like, share, and comment to help me grow. I am talking about The Rise of Ultraman, issue number 4. It was written by Kyle Higgins and Matt Groom. The art is by Francesco Manna, again. Color artist is Espen Grundetjean, and Ariana Maher is the letterer. The interesting thing about this issue is it's pretty good, even though it has a pretty okay cover. The cover is like remarkably pedestrian, which I feel kind of bad saying. Done by Jorge Molina. I don't know. Shin looks cool. Ultraman looks cool, but it's not very dynamic. It's not very action-packed. It has really nothing to do with the issue, except for it shows, I think, the USP, and it shows that they're in Japan, if you were confused about that. And I don't think that's the selling point of this comic. At least I don't think it should be. I think the selling point of this comic should be that it's good. It's very good. So, anyway, with that being said, I will do just a quick little review, because it was so enjoyable that I don't really have much to say about it. Shin looks like a cool guy. Fuji, she's like... I'm kind of half and half with her, how she's depicted. She, in turns, looks goofy and, more seriously drawn. Maybe it's because she's in a lot of distant shots, or maybe because they're a little bit afraid, Marvel editorial or Manna, potentially, to make her, too beautiful and have her, fit that classic comic book thing. Which I find especially odd, because there's a distracting butt shot of her. She's getting attacked, and you can criticize me if you want to and say, oh, you shouldn't be distracted, that she's in danger. But I turn the page on the digital comic, and then boom, her we get a perspective from behind her, between her legs. We see her holding her gun, and the kaiju staring her down or whatever, and it's well drawn. So it's kind of a weird shot, and I'm actually a week late on this, so I don't know if Toku Twitter or whatever has been able to turn on this and say that it's evil and terrible or whatever because of that shot. But just kind of weird. I didn't really expect that. Some other issues, Manna's face is he does I don't know if it's the art or if it's the inking. There's something weird with the noses, where they have this kind of half transparency at certain places, and the line under the lips and the frenulum below the upper lip and nose, and then the curvature of the nose itself, it's almost too detailed. I don't know if they're trying to avoid an anime look or what, because I don't think that they're in danger of having an anime look. And three-quarter poses or whatever, the noses look a lot better, but kind of head on or under, the camera slightly under the chin, looking up, it looks a little off, and it's a little distracting. I don't like it, and I've complained about it every time. However, other than that, I really have no complaints about the art. I think it all really is pretty fantastic. I enjoy the kaiju. I'm sure these are all throwback designs, and I would be surprised if any of them were original designs, just because Ultraman has such a rich history of kaiju to draw from. It doesn't make sense. And I actually recently read an article. Well, that doesn't matter. I'm supposed to be talking about the comic book. Sorry. Anyway, Ultraman looks really great throughout. There's a lot of great shots of him. I actually really did like one other thing with Fuji when she's in limbo, which is exactly what they call this weird world where the kaiju get sent by the K-rays. By the way, that's the big secret that the USP has known for 30 years at least, that the K-rays don't actually disintegrate the kaiju. They send them somewhere else, to a place of limbo, and basically limbo has its limits, and it will crack open, and when it does, the Ultra expects that probably is what the actual Kaiju Crisis is. It's less that kaiju are attracted to the negativity of humanity on Earth and the world we inhabit, but it's more that there is all this pent-up negative potential energy that will be released when the bubble pops. Wow. Sorry, I'm into Austrian economics, and it sounds very much like what's going to happen with the economy. There's going to be, there's inflation of a bubble for some time, and then it pops because it has to. There's nothing that can be done. Like the Ultra says, nothing can be swept under the rug and be kept there reliably. And, that's not the nature of things. Everything comes out. Everything has a release. What goes up must come down. There are natural forces at play in the world, and there are consequences to every action. And it's interesting. The USP has been proven has proven the point of the Ultra that he'd made to Shin before, that humanity is not ready because they turn away from their problem and they choose just the lesser of two evils in order to try to escape crisis for now and try to escape destruction for now, instead of turning towards the problem, facing it head on, and trying to figure out a way out of the situation. So, as far as the Ultra action was concerned, it wasn't, terribly wonderful. He went in and punched a couple kaiju once or twice, and Fuji kept hitting him with her K-Ray, but inside limbo. I guess the K-Ray just sends them to limbo. And perhaps... okay, that's interesting. So it looks like the K-Ray just sends them to limbo, and the effect of that, and then when it's used on them inside, it keeps them in limbo, but it transports or teleports them somewhere else, which is why she continued to be in danger, even though she thought she had killed some kaiju within limbo itself. I want to say I'm a little surprised or confused by one aspect of limbo, which is there's a lot of these weird crystal formations popping out of different places, but then there's like a floating train and cars and bicycles and street signs and houses and things like that. And I'm wondering, were these places and objects that aren't kaiju in this alternate dimension of limbo, kaiju limbo, whatever, are they things that were hit with the K-Ray and that were then transported? Because we see and we understand that Fuji was hit by the K-Ray and teleported to this kaiju limbo dimension, and she was taken intact. So does that mean entire houses and trains and things like that were also taken intact into limbo? I'm a little confused by that. It's very unclear, and it's possible that over time that's the sort of thing that has happened, especially if it's been 4 decades that they've been hitting kaiju and having kaiju battles and pushing things into limbo, that a lot of what do they call it, detritus, could have been sent there as well, which makes for the the setting of the floating cars and the bikes and all that really cool, kind of spooky ambient atmospheric stuff that's there in limbo with Shin and Fuji. So, I like the feel of limbo. I don't know if we're going to go back there. I don't know if we need to go back there. The fact that by the end of the issue, spoilers, there's a kaiju that's popped out, and it's a gigantic one. It makes me think that Shin's going to have to really go ultra and get gigantic to fight it as well. He's going to have to get kaiju size, which is neat. It's funny to me that this is the end of the series, of this mini-series or whatever, because they're definitely not giving it a conclusive ending. Let's say... Well, anyway. I don't know. It's interesting because I'm a little bummed out knowing that the next issue is the final issue, because I just don't really see how they're going to finish it off. And I'm hoping that there's some prolonged kaiju battling in that one, because like I said, the kaiju battle stuff wasn't that exciting or interesting to me in this issue. It was fine. And of course, Shin as Ultraman looks fantastic. The posing is dynamic. The coloring and the shadow play or whatever on all the musculature and everything on Ultraman is great. It just looks fantastic. It's it's fun to look at. The kaiju are neat to see him bashing into, but I don't know. It's I'm lacking a little something, and I loved though all the stuff about the Ultra telling him you can't just sweep things under the rug, and kind of the chickens coming home to roost for the USP, and the director and the scientist guy who blasted Fuji into this kaiju limbo, their argument, their debate, and their philosophy. It's just cool how they are again, I'm reiterating myself, they're stressing, or I'm stressing, that they are showing exactly why humanity is not quite ready to become Ultra, to ascend to that next plane. But again, these guys are also 40 years older than Shin, approximately. So he's representing a new generation and new possibilities, and I like that. So it's kind of more of the same that I like, but I like how they more clearly define the thematic underpinnings of like turning away from things, ignoring them, sweeping them under the rug, pretending they're not there, like that will never lead to health and well-being and wholeness and goodness. It'll, only lead to, eventual suffering and destruction. And, meanwhile, the director, I'm sure, has been suffering for a long time with this burden of, lying to everybody about what's going on, trying to keep the kaiju secret. And then the, scientist who ran away, and is hiding from the USP and stuff. He's been leading, a less than enjoyable life because of how, how he's chosen to live by hiding. And, I can see both perspectives of them, but ultimately you can't just turn away. You have to turn towards things and really deal with them. And I like that that's the kind of the message or the theme, the ethic, whatever that's being, put forth here. And I guess we're going to see that really exemplified in the final act in issue 5 when Shin and Ultraman have to fight the kaiju. Although, I'm thinking, how long was he in there looking for Fuji? Doesn't he only have 3 minutes at a time? And is he out of, charges? Is he going to have to, like, stop fighting the kaiju and rest for a while it's causing destruction potentially while he's recharging? That could be bad. That could be interesting. And then, if that's the case, the whole world will know, or at least, that area of Japan will know about the kaiju, and there will be no hiding them because, how can you hide that? I don't know. I think it's very interesting. I'm excited by this, second to the last act, and I like how it's set up, everything that's going to happen. And, you heard me. I liked what, what arguments and stuff it represented now. This feels very much like classic sci-fi, making a point, asking questions, giving answers, developing them over the course of the story. And, that's been fun to unfold or watch unfold. So, I don't really have much else to say, except for I wish the art with Fuji was a little more consistent. Like, either you want to portray her, like, either she's beautiful and you want to portray her as beautiful, or she's not, and you also, are okay with that, which I'm fine either way. Just be consistent, because sometimes she looks, nicer than other times, and it's odd. And Shin, I'd say he's pretty, like, pretty across the board, consistently, a handsome dude. So I just don't really know what's going on. But anyway, that last spread with the kaiju rumbling out over the city before they escaped was super cool. And then the final kaiju popping up in the ocean when they were finally out all the way was pretty awesome. So overall, really enjoyable. I'm enjoying this series. I want to see more of it. We'll see what happens after issue 5. Hopefully it's a success. I guess I'll have to look at Comic-Con or something and see how big of a success this has been, or maybe Subaru is even talking about it on their Subaru Galaxy website. I'll have to check that out and see what's going on with that. But until next time, folks, take care, be well. Remember, you don't have to shout henshin to be a hero.